All right, everybody. So this is Trade Formula. Wanted to make a really quick video sharing about what the heck is going on with Swell right now. Why are we dropping, right? And what's going on. So, all right. So let's take a step back. I like to start these videos looking at the historical sense of what has been going on so that we can form some opinions about what will it look like moving forward. So this line of resistance, the black line, if you've been watching my videos, I've changed this historically. Black is what we're going with right now. This is the touch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we broke through it on the 6-1 right here. Huge candle that came up right to, what was it, 76 cents or so. And I drew that line right up here. That's about right, 76 cents. Fell back down. Here's the important thing. In bullish trends, okay, let's take a step back. In bearish trends, you make lower highs and lower lows, okay? Here's a high. Here's a low, right? Lower high than previous. You can make the case that this was a false breakout here. I thought that was a higher low than the previous one. I thought this was going to go upwards as a result. That didn't happen. We continue to make lower highs and lower lows until here we started to make a little bit higher high than previously. Now we're starting to make, this is a huge high compared to the previous highs, relatively speaking, in recent history, right? You could make the case that this is a low. So we have low, maybe this is a high, low, right? High, low. And here we're making lower highs again. We're in a sideways pattern for a brief amount of time. Let's remember that this bearish trend is very strong, and it's going to take some momentum to break out of it, right? It's going to take a fair amount of momentum to break out of it. A lot of people thought that the switch was going to be flipped to automatically turn on all of the XRP payments. That's not going to happen. We do know that there's going to be one bank on XRP before the end of the year. And so fundamentally speaking, I think there were some people that were hoping that it was going to just skyrocket way past this line. I think it's funny that we did blow past it here, but then we started kind of meandering right around it. And that's what we're doing right now. We're actually hugging that line a lot closer to what it might appear. Overall, there are still some kind of bearish, strong bits here that I don't really like a whole lot, which makes me think that we are going to possibly fall back down to one of these support lines. I think this could be fair, at 50 cents, very plausible. This is a little bit less plausible, but possible. If we break this, then we're probably heading back down to about 33 cents or so. In the event that happens, we're going to see a pretty massive buy-in my opinion. The bottom line is this. In order to break through this black line of resistance, we're going to have a pretty strong upward momentum to get there. Now, that could easily happen here around mid-November. It's possible that there might be other lows that are made around this area, which create a different timeline, creating upwards around here. I personally think, fundamentally speaking, I've heard November 1st be played with as the date that Mercury is going to start using XRP, and I mean actually turning it on, starting to use it. By the way, Mercury FX is going to handle, my understanding is, $5 billion US a day in transactions. So what do you think that would do to supply and demand of Ripple? If it's me, and I'm holding XRP, have been for a very, very long time, and really haven't sold for ages. I just like doing this type of thing for fun. If it's me, if I'm holding, I'm looking at this area right here as a buy, and I think it's pretty fair, around 50 cents, as that would be a pretty reasonable support to buy in at. I think this line and this line coinciding, this is creating a falling wedge. And so if it would break out of that, that could be enough momentum to break through this. Look at the timeline on this. This is the beginning of October. This is a few days from now. Could it fall the whole way down to here? I think that's plausible. It's possible. I just don't know. it's really hard to say. Right now, I don't see a very, very strong buying pattern. It's telling us we need to get in it right away. And so if you're holding on the sidelines, you might want to wait till this falling wedge is a little bit more complete down here around this area and wait for a breakout to happen. Also, I use stochastics a lot, right? So if I'm looking at, well, I'll tell you what, let's pull it out to daily. That'll give us a little bit more of a picture regarding stochastics buy and sell times. Let's get this thing down out of here. All right, so this is just slow K. That's it. I don't deal with slow D. I don't care about it. I just want slow K. Is that a decent buy-in moment? I think probably. It went from, what, 86 cents up to, well, might be, might not be. Let's say, okay, this is a bearish market, so in terms of selling, if you sold right here, would that be a good selling point? Yes, it would be. Wait till slow K dips down and then you see moving averages follow suit. Yes, those are good buying and selling signals, right? Good selling signal. Yes, it is. So if we're looking at, determining when we're in a bearish market, when to buy in, or a bullish market, when to buy in, this is essentially flipped to bullish with this massive move that occurred, right? If I'm looking at this on a daily scale and we pull it out, we're starting to see the RSI drop right here. That's a little concerning to me, right? We're also seeing stochastic tick downwards. I think we could see support right around here for that reason. If it breaks it, then like I said, we're looking at 33 cents or so. But I believe we're in a bullish market starting now, starting at this time. I don't think we're going to see prices this low again, around 25 cents. But I do think we could dip down to about 49, possibly 44. Ultimately, when we do break this and there's continuity upwards, could be right around here. That would be great. I'd be perfectly happy with that. What I believe is going to happen is we're going to see more of these types of boxes be formed, right? If I pull this down a little bit, very plausible that we could see a box be formed that is in this area, starting around here, right, and growing up to about 19 bucks. Right? I mean, look at the formation of these boxes and how they form, how they're created. So generally, they're 12x, 14x, 16.5x, if I remember correctly on these numbers. And ultimately, I think we're going to see another one formed around this area. Once we see breakout from this long-term resistance, it's really going to go. Trust me. So what I would do, we're still coming off this high, right? We need to wait for a good buy-in moment. And I think that's come around right around here. If it were me, I'd look at the 4-hour. I would consider what does an oversold situation look like. We're close to it. We're at 23 slow K right now. It could easily fall right into this pattern, right? Last time we saw a big upwards movement was down here on this line of support when we were oversold and when we broke through a lot of these lines of moving average. The same could happen right here. I could see us dropping over the next, 12 to 40, well, probably 24 to 48 hours around this time period, filling in this, hitting the support. It'll align, it'll cut through those moving averages. We'll definitely be oversold at that point, right? Buying in at that point, minimize your risk, and I think it could go up from there. If it cut down this low, especially if it broke through, then we're in a bearish pattern, okay? But I think this is a pretty good buying moment right here around 49 cents. So that's my thoughts. Hope you enjoy.